Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got my very good friend Brian Spitz here in the studios. He's with BigStateHomebuyers.com. I love what they do. I love what they're about. I tell you, he's a great entrepreneur. He's one of these guys that I bet your dad, when dealing with you, is a lot like me. And I love all of my kids, but all my kids have unique things about them, and one of my sons is incredibly successful at 23 years old. He's the COO of a technology company at 22 years old. Wow. And when he was 11, I said, everyone be nice to Alex because eventually we're all going to work for him, and yes. Sure enough, it's really incredible. So I bet your dad was a lot like Dad dealing with Brian.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Because you're a really extraordinary entrepreneur. What you've done with Big State Homebuyers is amazing. And I love the insights you bring to our audience. And I love your touch in the whole community and helping certain areas and certain parts of the community like you're doing with our story today. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Well, yes, I'm the owner of Big State Home Buyers, and we are the largest privately owned home buying company in Houston, and we are unique from all of our competitors in that, number one, we've won multiple awards from the Better Business Bureau, but really that's representative of our focus on service for our sellers. So we help sellers who want to sell their properties quickly. They want a buyer to pay cash and, no inspections, no contingencies. And for our investment clients, which are people who are executives, your average person, hedge funds, all sorts, we provide them with the inventory they need for their investment portfolios. If they want to buy real estate to rent or flip, we're the resource for off-market properties that are discounted below anything you could get on the MLS.
Very good. And by the way, you can learn more about him and the work of Big State at Big State House Deals, or BigStateHomebuyers.com.
Right. Well, both websites will work.
Yeah, both will work. But I always like to say one because why confuse people? Right. So, and your guest today?
Our guest today is Greg Gomez, and Greg is with Home Instead Senior Care. And so we do work with a lot of seniors at Big State Home Buyers, and so I really like to provide a lot of resources for seniors. And Greg has some experience and some knowledge there, so thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Brian. It's good to be here.
Greg, we are glad to have you. Why don't you tell us real quickly, kind of give us the elevator speech of what Home Instead is all about.
Sure. I own one of the Home Instead Senior Care franchises here in Houston, and basically what we do is we employ caregivers that are screened, trained, bonded, and insured, and we can go into somebody's home and provide assistance with activities of daily living. So that means if somebody needs assistance bathing, using the restroom, cooking, cleaning, possibly transportation to a doctor's appointment, to the grocery store, our mission, as our name suggests, is to enable people to stay home instead of going to an assisted living facility or a nursing home.
Very good. Ryan?
That's great. There are, until we got into this, I didn't realize how many resources there are here in the city that are both public and private. Of course, Home Instead being a great private resource, possibly because it's a lot more effective to find somebody who's bonded and insured than try to find someone on your own.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about what other senior care resources you know about that would be helpful to people who need them.
Yeah, it's a great point, Brian. I think one of the best resources in Houston is an organization called 211, and they actually are affiliated with the Texas Department of Aging and Disability Services. We'll use the acronym DADS. DADS is the governmental agency that regulates any type of business that's in the senior care industry that's licensed by the state. So that would be, for example, a home care agency, a home health company, a nursing home assisted living facility. People can access 211 one of two ways. They can actually go to their website, which is www.211texas.org, or they can just pick up their phone and call 211. But basically, any senior-related topic somebody can find with this organization. One example and one feature that I really like is if you have a family, Brian, that's in a home, let's say they're selling their home, they're looking at moving into a assisted living facility or nursing home that's in their particular part of town, you can do a query by zip code to find licensed agencies that are within that zip code so you can search for assisted livings and nursing homes that are in your part of the city.
Kind of give us a nice idea of the total extent of the type of services you provide these seniors.
Sure. With my particular company?
Yes.
Again, so what we call it is activities of daily living is what we do, but several common things would be if somebody needs assistance bathing, let's say they've had a stroke, let's say they have a cognitive issue or disorder such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, and they need assistance bathing using the restroom. Our caregivers are trained on what we call personal care to assist with that. Also, if somebody's having issues with their medications, that's a big problem as we all get older. If you're forgetting to take your medicines, our caregivers can ensure and remind seniors to take their medicines when they're supposed to take them. And I think one of the most underrated aspects of our caregivers that we do is companionship. And what that means, if you've got an older adult, let's say a woman whose husband passed away years ago, she lives alone in her house, people can get very depressed. And I think having somebody to talk to, having a friend, a caregiver in the house, providing that social interaction, that stimulation is very important for seniors as well.
Yeah, very good. Go ahead there, Brian.
Well, tell us about the average client of yours. Who would the typical client be?
Yeah, as far as cost or as far as the situation of the client?
Sure, the cost.
The cost, obviously it ranges, Brian. We have clients, there's no contract with us, meaning a senior or a client does not have to use us for a certain amount of hours per day or per week. We can provide service for as little as 1 hour, which would be a 1 hour bath visit. We also have clients that use us 24 hours a day. But if you're looking at the average, I would say the average is having a caregiver come in probably 3 days a week for 4 hours. And that could be approximately around $1,200, $1,300.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I know. So it's a great alternative because a lot of people don't want to leave the home if they can avoid it. And a lot of people, once they do decide to leave the home, like I said, that's a really common reason people will contact companies like Big State Home Buyers because that's an immediate resource for cash reserves to pay for long-term care.
Yeah. Do you want to mention real quick, Gregory's website is homeinstead.com/541. homeinstead.com/541. Sorry, go ahead there, Gregory, with your comment.
My only comment was in on cost. If you look at the average assisted living facility in Houston, it's between about $3,000 and $5,000 a month. If somebody goes into a nursing home, that's going to be more expensive. So typically it's going to be over $5,000 a month. So those are just some cost considerations to look at.
Yeah, it's not cheap. And that's why long-term care insurance makes so much sense.
It's a great product.
It really is. The thing about it is that thanks to technology, we're living longer, but not always better.
Right.
And so the need for long-term care is becoming more and more evident. Very important. We got about a minute left. Why don't you go ahead and wrap it up for us, Brian?
Well, I just wanted to say that this is Big State Home Buyers has a lot of information on our blog and on our iTunes. We have an iTunes account and a lot of places where we discuss senior living, long-term care insurance, different options like this. And we really try to endorse companies that are also service-oriented and really care about the client. So once you call us and they're ready to make a decision to move out of the home, we can provide the best service related to that. We can also point you in a lot of directions, a lot of directions that can help you make decisions on where to go next. And so a great place like Home Instead is a place where you can really maximize the time in the home that you have before it's time to move on.
Very good. Brian Spitz, again, he's with BigStateHomebuyers.com. Love the work that you do, and thanks for your guest today. Greg, glad to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Have you done radio before?
Yes, I have. Not this show, though.
Yeah, not this show. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you do this show again. You did a really good job. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, when we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here. It shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. I am Kevin Price, and this is The Price of Business.